Welcome back to Mizzurna Falls. Last time, Matthew got his ass shot. And he died by a mysterious pair of legs. That's all. I mean, there was no upper body. It was just legs and gun. So, it was a bit surprising that we ran into that because it seemed like we were on our way to solving the mystery. I did not expect there to be a second bad ending, like right at the end. And so afterwards, some people in the chat yelled at me a bit. So I decided to follow up on that and go back to day 6. I mentioned that on day 7 that Cohen's radio was gone in his hospital room. On day 6, I did look at it. I mean, I think that we have a conversation with Cohen when we walk in here. Yeah, this is after he collapsed. And then we brought him to the hospital. We already seen this conversation. So the thing I didn't do he's going to ask us to get the envelope. We got the envelope previously, but that's not the important thing right now. All right, so when I look at this tape player, there's no icon to look at it. Now, usually when something is of importance or you can use it, there'll be some sort of observation icon. But I guess not always, because we can go to the tape, and that by the square button, now there is a use icon there. So we can use the tape on the tape player in Cohen's room. And because I didn't do that, Matthew died. How about some music? What kind of music? It's a wonderful song. Huh? This song? You've heard it? What is this song? It's by Isabella, the woman in the room next to yours. Her? Is there something strange about this song? When I was in the military, I heard that same melody. What, this one? What do you mean? I said before how the military was investigating the death journey ritual, right? Yeah. Why do you think they were doing that? Because it was part of the murder investigation, right? Only on the surface. Back then, the military was running all sorts of tests on post-death experiences. Post-death experiences? Yes, placing a person in a state of temporary death, then reviving them with electric jolts. That's just like the death journey ritual. Yes, the ritual Cougar was experimenting with was no different to ours. Then I was involved with the case for 20 years. So then, the experiments didn't go well? No, they went very well. The test subjects indeed died and were brought back to the land of the living. And they really experienced a world beyond death. Of that, there can be no doubt. I know, because I was one of the test subjects. You? Yes, it was such a strange world. So warm, so vast, and everywhere a beautiful melody playing. That melody is the one from this song, right? Yes. Isabella also had a near-death experience, and she said that she heard this melody when she was under, then made it into a song. Is that so? Is there really a world after death? Maybe this song is the song of God, or maybe it's just part of our DNA. A memory left over from long ago. Is it really so important to see this world beyond death? I wonder. The experiments came at too great a cost. Many test subjects lost their lives. Maybe we were no better than Cougar. But Cougar believed he could get divine power, even though there's no evidence of that at all. It's all the same. We believed in science, he believed in ancient traditions. It's the existence of the divine. I've been advised to forget my worries and just rest. So, Cohen reveals that he died and was brought back to life by the military, and he heard the same song that Isabella did. I guess that if you die, in the afterlife, you just hear that song repeatedly for eternity. I don't know if that's great. It's a good song, sure, but I don't know if I'm looking forward to that. I don't know. So, there's something else we gotta do. Morgan told us to come to the hospital to talk to Cohen. We have now talked to Cohen. Let's go back and talk to Morgan. This, I'm a little iffy on the progression. Because, okay, sure, we went to the hospital to talk to Morgan. There was a tape player there, even though there was no icon next to it. But you can use the tape to get Cohen to talk about this. And so, sure, after talking to Cohen and learning about his past with the military and the Death Journey ritual, maybe we might want to go back to Morgan, who I believe is still at the woods, should be. Maybe we might think to do that, because we go and talk to Morgan all the time about current events and things that are happening, new information that we get. But the thing that I don't quite understand is, after that conversation with Cohen, why would Matthew ask this? About the necklace the bear had at its claws. Could I take a look at it? That? Oh, I lent it to James. To James? Yeah, he said he wanted to examine it. That has nothing to do with the Cohen conversation. But Matthew could not actually ask Morgan about the necklace otherwise. But, I mean, after getting that piece of information, I think it's pretty clear we need to go back to that hospital and ask James about that necklace. Hey, Dr. James. About the necklace found on the bear, do you have it? Yes, I just borrowed it from Morgan so I could examine it. So it's the Prophet's necklace? No doubt about it. Could you show it to me again? I'm wearing it around my neck. Go ahead and take it. Why are you wearing it? I was wondering if it would give me any strange powers. Huh? You've got a huge wound back here. What happened? Oh, yes, that wound. It's from a while ago. These kinda look like claw marks. Got it. Can I borrow this? What for? Well, I just feel like I keep it. I'll be able to find Emma. Liar. You think there was someone else involved in the ritual besides Emma and Kathy, don't you? And you think that person still needs the necklace. Why are you... Because I was thinking the same thing. Yes, it's like you said. Well, whatever. Just promise you'll give it back to me if I need to examine it again. Sure. I got the prophet necklace. It's just strange scratches on his neck. Nothing to worry about. Cougar used this 40 years ago. It seems to be important for the Death Journey ritual. How do you like the necklace? Feel any sacred power emanating from it? Nope, not a bit. Well, whatever. Just make sure it gets back to the station in one piece. We sure will. Okay, so that is the remaining piece that I needed, I believe. And of course, we need to ask Barbara what she thinks about it. I guess she's still in her room. Hey, Barbara. Check it out. It's the necklace of your sister's murderer. Oh, you don't want to look at it? I guess she doesn't want to look at it. Does Cohen want to look at it? I guess not. Well, I guess the Cohen conversation implies maybe there might actually be something supernatural, some sort of truth to this whole afterlife thing, since Cohen recognized the song. Well, once she's at her location, maybe she'll want to see the necklace. I'm not sure. What do you think of this? You know what that necklace is for? I can tell you right now, there's nothing mystical about it. It's just a piece of junk. I don't understand people who are interested in things like that. I don't want to know either. She doesn't care about our necklace. Okay. So, what I did after this point is I played through the rest of Day 6 and Day 7 to see if I would get to a point where anything different would happen. And it did. Right here. We're back in the woods. And unlike last time, the ambulance is not here. This guy is here. He's usually patrolling. But the ambulance with Dr. James in it is not here. So something different's happening. Matthew? Cohen, what are you doing here? I've got a real bad feeling. The forest feels wrong. I think Emma is here somewhere. What? Then the ritual? We have to find her now. The big tree. If anyone's going to be performing the ritual, that's where they do it. Let's go. Alright, this is different. Last time, Cohen gave us his gun and ran away. This time he's with us, which is like the better strategy. I don't know why we split up. We both know where the tree is. We don't need to split up to go there. There's Emma. Emma! Emma, wake up! It's all right. She's just unconscious. Thank God. We prevented the worst from happening. Who was trying to perform the ritual? Huh? Oh no, Cohen! You weren't part of my plan. You? No. James? Oh no, he's on the epoch. Huh? You were going to perform the ritual? That's right, detective. I'm the bad guy. I'm the one who synthesized this drug for the ritual. No, then... Yeah, I'm the one who sold it to Wolf. But why? You helped me so many times. I did, didn't I? See, I was looking for Emma, too. What do you want with her? That day, we all came here together to perform the ritual. But then, in an unbelievable stroke of bad luck, we were attacked by a bear. I love that part of the story. I barely escaped with my life. That wound on the back of your neck. Yeah, that's where the bear slashed me. After that, I lost sight of Emma. I never thought I'd be betrayed by Wolf of all people. Now look what it's cost me. Wolf betrayed you? So it was you who shot him on the roof. He was a fool. He held Emma prisoner and hid it from me. Why perform the ritual? Hey, don't get the wrong idea. It's not like I forced Emma or Kathy into anything. I was simply trying to save them. Two weak girls who couldn't handle reality. Emma was especially keen on the ritual. Of course, I was really only in it for the eternal life. That's insane! Who'd want something like that? Did you really think you'd gain eternal life? Who knows? Then why? You just don't get it. It's human nature to want to experience the unknown. You know, Cougar ended up with nothing. Cougar's flesh may have died, but his mission was passed down to me. Eternity is truth. How petty our lives are compared to the history of the universe. We humans live our whole lives with a curiosity that can never be satisfied. I want to know everything to do with this world. Life is so short, and you were willing to risk both Emma and Kathy's lives just for that? Live? Die? Who cares? They had no purpose in life. How can you say that? Enough talking. Hand it over. And what over? The prophet necklace. I was waiting for you to show up and bring it to me. Something on your mind? Speak up. I could destroy it. Don't be a fool. Give it to me. Now. You could shoot me, but it would still be destroyed. What do you want? I'm taking Emma, and we're going home. I guess you got me. Emma! Ah! Did you forget how good a shot I am? A shot like that was a piece of cake. Gah! Well then, Mr. Detective. Ah! Matthew! Huh? Emma! Emma! Ah, shit, it's wearing off. Get back here! Matthew! Cohen! Are you alright? No! Take the gun and go! Don't let Emma perform the ritual! Emma! Matthew, are you all right? Matthew, I'm coming down from the epoch, coming down hard. I'm so afraid. Emma, you don't have to say anything right now. Oh. Oh. Epoch, it's... What's wrong? I made it too strong. Oh. James? Yeah. Oh no, he's got a special portrait. Ah, the shrug, man. Huh? You should try it. You can overcome death with ease. That's ridiculous. Everyone dies eventually. Die? What's the point in dying? When you die, you lose what you are. It's as if you never even existed at all. No, you're wrong. The human body is just a tool for experimentation, a mere vessel for the soul. Take a good look at me. Don't you dare see me as human. What you see before you was no longer human, but a being of pure instinct. Not going to defend yourself? I will consume you! Oh, double shot. So that is the actual final ending of Mizzurna Falls. I like Dr. James, upon appearing, saying, "Yep, that's right, I'm the bad guy." Just letting him know. I also like Dr. James confirming one more time that the bear attack was a complete coincidence. None of the parties involved in this planned the bear attack. Just complete accident starting the whole thing. And speaking of that, I mean, the most important thing of what we discovered, hey, Stranglebear innocent. Stranglebear would never hurt a soul except Kathy. That's the one soul that he hurt, but he didn't actually kill Kathy. Kathy died in the hospital later when she died from shock upon seeing Father Barton. Stranglebear innocent. The real hero of the story. The real hero. Okay. So that is Mizzurna Falls, a game that, you know, you hear a lot about being a proto Deadly Premonition on the PS1, and it's interesting to think about what it would actually be, an open world town game where you just go around and solve a murder mystery on the PS1. It's remarkable what they did on this hardware, even though it is, you know, it's very janky. I mean, I don't need to tell you that. You were watching this. You were watching the whole thing. Let me tell you, the way that the game feels worse than it looks. Kind of moving and doing anything is a struggle. Worst fighting engine I've ever come across. The shooting's just QTEs. But even the QTEs sometimes were unresponsive, which is, I don't know how you do that. Sometimes they were. But, I mean, despite all of that, it's a very interesting game and quite a memorable experience. Playing it blind, trying to actually piece my way through the mystery, which, I mean, no one's going to do that their first time through. But at the same time, I feel like using a guide to go through it is sort of robbing yourself of the Mizzurna Falls experience, since like the entire gameplay really is trying to put things together, even though the game does go too far in certain points. I mentioned before, a big point that I had an issue with was how it doesn't really matter what you know, but it matters what Matthew knows. And the biggest example of that was the cigarettes saga of, I know I have to buy cigarettes for Barbara, but Matthew doesn't know that, and how do I get him to know that? Was a very frustrating thing. And that was truly the biggest challenge of the game. Now, people do call it a proto-Deadly Premonition, and I mean, aside from the shared Twin Peaks, you know, source material, certainly resemblances. It's an open town game featuring a cast of characters that have schedules, daily schedules. A lot of the game is going to involve driving. The driving has a really bad rotating minimap in the corner. And as we found out in the end, a guy who has been helping you with the investigation kidnaps the girl at the end because he's actually the main villain. You thought that the really masculine crime boss was the villain, and then it wasn't. So that's a similarity as well. But the thing that kind of struck me, though, is how different a game this is, in that when you compare it to Deadly Premonition, it's a strange thing to say, but Deadly Premonition is a much more traditional video game, as odd as that is, because Deadly Premonition is a game where you play as a charismatic main character, where you go to locations, you shoot enemies, you talk to people. There are cutscenes. It's an open world, but the game tells you where to go. And if you miss it, you can do it again. And there are side quests, but the game tells you gives you a list saying which chapter each side quest is in, and what character, and the characters that they're involved with appear on the map. It's a much friendlier and more traditional game compared to Mizzurna Falls, in which in Mizzurna Falls they give you a prologue, and then after that they put you down in the town with Matthew and his car and say, "All right, go. Solve the mystery." And if you don't find a whole lot of things like I did on the first run, the story dries up real fast, and then nothing happens for the rest of the week until Emma's body is found. So you really do have to, do multiple playthroughs, take notes, figure out what's going on and when, and what clues are coming up, and what do you have to follow up on. And the game really does not care at all about if you actually complete this. As you saw with the second bad ending we got, I did almost everything there was, figured out almost everything except the bit with the tape player in Cohen's room. And because of that, we got another bad ending. And I'm using an emulator, so hey, it wasn't that big of a deal because I could just load a save state from day 6 and do that again. If you were, and then fast forward through points in time where nothing was happening. If you were playing on real hardware, hey, hopefully you had save games in the right places. There's only like 3 save slots per memory card, so you don't have many. And you don't have the ability to fast forward. Well, I mean, you could sleep at 5 hours at a time. Like, there is that. But trying to actually get through this on real hardware would have been a much more frustrating experience. And especially if, I don't know, I'm just imagining like something comes up while you're playing the game, you have to leave quickly, but you can't save quickly. You can't just, you have to drive back to Matthew's home to go to sleep to save. Like, the game doesn't want you, the game does not want saving to be a quick, convenient thing. They want you to have to go out of your way to do it. Yeah, just a game that presents an intriguing concept and is going to make it pretty rough for you to actually accomplish it. And they want you to play it multiple times. They want you to discuss this with your friends who may also be playing the game to they don't want this to be something that's easily solved. They want someone to have trouble with it. And I can understand that. But at the same time, in a modern game, if you're going to make something that the player's going to have trouble with, you're probably also going to try to make the actual game mechanics and menuing and saving to be a lot more of an easy, quicker, more convenient method, as opposed to what we have going on here in Mizzurna Falls. Which just doesn't really care if you solve the mystery or not. Man, I have to say, as far as the mystery goes, they did give me a curveball. I had my eyes on James the whole time because of what we saw on night 7 on that first run. I was not thinking about Wolf at all. I mean, I guess it's kind of clear, like, Wolf is suspicious, but I just had my eyes on the prize. And so it turned out that there wasn't just one culprit. There were multiple. That James was not the crime boss, though he was creating the drug, and Wolf was the actual drug boss. So I guess the Epoch was being created by James in Mizzurna Falls, and I guess it was being either dealt in the town and also being distributed out of the town by Bonehead, probably, is how that was going. And they, one thing I don't remember if they ever actually mentioned is how was it that Dennis was forced to go along with it? Because they were using Dennis's properties, right? They were using the junkyard to house the Epoch. The barn was being used to hold Emma. The mysterious cabin was being used to hold Isabella. The workers' housing was being used as a hideout by Bonehead. So they were getting Dennis to let him do this. I don't remember if anything ever comes up in the game of what did they have on Dennis. Why was Dennis under Wolf's thumb? I feel like that never actually came up. Maybe they just threatened him, but then again, I don't know. Dennis is rich. He could probably bring in bodyguards or call the cops if he's not involved in it, then he doesn't, he could just do that. Yeah, I feel like that wasn't mentioned. Also, at the near the beginning, when we hide in Mel's closet and we hear him on the phone with Bonehead, and Mel says that he solved the Emma problem. What does that mean? Mel ended up not being involved in this. Mel bought the drugs for Emma and Kathy. That's why he owes Bonehead money. And then they go. I don't think he knows about Dr. James. Dr. James, Kathy, and Emma go to the woods to do the ritual. And then after being completely accidentally attacked by a bear, Emma staggers out of the woods. Wolf just happens to come across her, kidnaps her. So what did Mel mean by the Emma problem? This is before he takes the diary, mind you. The diary theft is... I think you can hide in the closet on day 1, and I think he steals the diary on day 2. So I guess he steals the diary because he doesn't want there to be any clues in there about who Emma was doing drugs with. I guess. I feel like Mel's association with Bonehead was just that he owed him money. I don't think he was doing anything with him after the money was paid. So I don't really know. I feel like that whole thing was just there to make you suspect Mel, but he didn't really have that much to do with it. But yeah, so I was focusing so much on James, I never even considered Wolf. I like how James got his own special crazy portrait right there at the end. I also, one thing I was wondering if there was how much into the supernatural was this game going to go? Was there going to be a Bob, right? And there wasn't. And maybe there was something supernatural because they sort of imply at the end there that maybe the reason Matthew survives is maybe he was death journeyed. Because we see the moon, it glows, we hear eternal. So maybe Matthew was death journeyed. But they leave that ambiguous. They don't say, oh no, the Mizzurna descended and the magic ritual worked and that's why he's alive. They do leave it ambiguous as to if anything actually happened. Which is probably the best way of going about it. Just having the whole thing be not supernatural, then at the end you see something that could possibly be it, maybe? But we're not actually going to confirm anything there. So let's see, what was the death toll? Matthew and Cohen both survived. Dennis died. Father Barton died. Wolf died. Bonehead died. What was his name? Black Hand? The bodyguard? He died. Dr. James died. The bear died. We're at 7. So I mean, a death toll of 7. Like I said earlier in the playthrough, Matthew is willing to rack up as big of a death toll as he has to save Emma, and he did. There was the hospital attack. So there was a nurse and a deputy that would go up to 9. I mean, Kathy dies at the beginning, but she doesn't have to die for the sake of the... I mean, let's just add her too. So 10. We're at 10. Death toll of 10. Matthew, so much blood on his hands, but he does not care. It was all to save Emma. Hopefully Emma, doesn't do this again. Like, it would be kind of funny if after all of this, Emma just wants to try the Death Journey ritual again. Just, maybe make just, maybe just spend some time with her. Just make sure she doesn't want to wander off back to the woods during a full moon. Maybe, maybe she might want to go for it again. But yeah, I enjoyed this, even though it was very frustrating. Even though I was annoyed at certain parts of it, like cigarettes. I enjoyed playing through this, putting it together. I thought that the game had a lot of charm in its PS1 janky polygonal way. And I don't know how to end that sentence. I don't know if there is an and, because it's human entertainment, and they did not last long. They did not last too long after Mizzurna Falls. But I'm glad that it was translated. So this really interesting relic could be played by English speakers, a game very unlike any other for its time, ahead of its time. But it's pretty rough to actually try to play this. But again, like I said, if you wanted to play this yourself, I would recommend trying to do it without a guide as much as you could, because that's really where the Mizzurna, that's where the gameplay is. Well, I guess this is it for Mizzurna Falls. We've reached the end. Human 1998. And not much longer after that. So, Matthew's 1 week mystery has been complete. I'm just making sure that nothing happens if I press any buttons. No. It seems like we stay on Human 1998. That's not surprising. When we got the bad endings and it said try again, it just stayed on that. Like, buttons don't do anything. They just wanted you to reset the system to do that, to do anything else. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was, and as tough as it was satisfying to reach the end and see Dr. James admit that he was behind it all. That and actually, thinking about it, the motivation of Dr. James, it makes sense. It's good when something in a mystery makes sense. And his whole thing about how he was trying to help Matthew but not help the cops because he wanted Matthew to find Emma before the cops did, so he could kidnap Emma and do his thing, because it would be bad if the cops found her. It would also be bad if Wolf continued to keep her. So James's one hope here is to push Matthew in the right direction so Matthew can do it for him. And I thought that made sense. But that epoch, man. That epoch must be quite a rush. Everyone, all I'm saying, Matthew did not want to take epoch. All I'm saying is that everyone who was taking the epoch seemed to be a big fan of epoch. That's all I want to say. They were like, this is great. This is amazing stuff. But of course, Stranglebear would never take epoch. Stranglebear's anti-drug is mauling people in the woods, and that's maybe that if that's what you have to do to stay off the drugs, hey. Random accidental bear attack. The best way could have gone, it was really an accident. No one planned it. Or, something that, we've been mentioning in the chat, maybe the Mizzurna, the god, the spirit, maybe that sent the bear to stop the ritual. Maybe the bear was on a mission. Dr. James just didn't know about that. The bear was the true hero the whole time. The whole time. Kathy would have survived if Father Barton did not walk into that room. She would have survived her injuries. Stranglebear did not kill anyone. And that's, I think, the conclusion we can make from Mizzurna Falls. At the beginning, we thought that this teenage girl was killed by a bear. And the lesson of Mizzurna Falls is don't believe, don't make assumptions, don't believe your assumed beliefs without getting the proof, because maybe it turns out that that bear that mauled Kathy was actually the hero after all. We salute you, Stranglebear. And I hope Nas had a lot of fun with your corpse. That's been Mizzurna Falls.